the whole Leia thing. I mean, obviously they didn't know Carrie Fisher was going to die, and it's a tragedy. And
It
of
is.
course, I thought it was in really kind of poor taste to use the leftover footage of her, and not only that, but just from an executing the movie standpoint, really, really clunky.
You could have done the Fast and Furious thing with this, where it's just like not CGI Carrie Fisher or anything. I mean, like Fast and Furious 7, they needed to complete that movie because so much of it, Paul Walker had been shot. So they needed to do some CGI stuff to get him in there.
Right, but they had zero Carrie Fisher for this movie.
They should have had zero Carrie Fisher. They should have done the Fast and Furious thing where it's just like, she's hiding. We're keeping her safe because she's old and she's done enough at this point. You know, her son tried to kill her in the last one. You know, he's gone, you know, that kind of thing. And you could have had her in silhouette. You could have done so much stuff, just cut to her on Coruscant or, you know, some other planet. Don't worry about her. Just keep her safe somewhere else. And you can reference her and be like, Leia is safe and no one needs to know where she is because she's key to keeping this resistance alive. Doesn't have to be in the movie at all.
I actually go another way with it. My pitch would have been open on the Return of the Jedi thing showing Palpatine's Essence transfer. Don't say, oh, this is Palpatine's Essence transfer. Then cut to Leia Organa's funeral. And the resistance is just devastated. There is no New Republic government. They're at an all-time low. And then they hear the broadcast of Palpatine. Because the whole movie, it's like the dead speak, and Palpatine sends out this broadcast. It's like, well, how about just put the broadcast?
Yeah. And then
use that, and everyone's like, "What is going on?" Like Palpatine, like this is insane. And then they have to go on an adventure to figure out: is he back? Why is he back? Where is he? Like that's your movie if you're gonna bring him back.
Yeah, exactly. And then also just reuse her message from the first Star Wars again in some meaningful way to get people on board. To be like, this is who we're fighting for. This person who risked everything from the beginning, you know, to try to inspire hope and connect us all. You know, this is the person. That's the message you send out to people is like, at one point, this young woman risked everything to stand up to these people, and just use that again to be like, this is who we need. Like, this is who we're following in the footsteps of, you know?
Yeah. If you had to like bridge a gap or some kind of like logic thing with a line, I don't want them to keep bringing back dead actors and actresses. It's just don't.
Yeah.
But if you absolutely had to finish a trilogy, it's not the most egregious thing. But if it was a pre-recorded hologram message, you don't have to worry as much about that weird uncanny valley. Like we kind of pulled it off, but we also kind of didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. It would have been either way. Like, either way, it stands out. It just comes off like you could tell Daisy Ridley's not talking to Carrie Fisher or anybody, you know, in that moment.
It's especially weird because most of her scenes are just for comedy, but it's like you really needed to bring her back so that I'm blanking on, was it Greg Grunderson is the guy who plays Snap Wexley?
Yeah.
Like just so he can make jokes about being optimistic about them losing. Like you really needed to bring back Carrie Fisher for that. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Have you seen, they're very deep cut nerdy things, but Weird Al used to do this bit where he would use B-roll footage from interviews with rock stars and then make his own interviews out of them. And then just
the
like
Eminem one, which was really funny.
Yeah, it reminds me of that in this movie. I'm sorry, I'm just drawing a lot of comedy comparisons.
That's what it is. It really is like early YouTube level. I'm shooting a thing that I wasn't part of. Yeah,
it's bizarre, and it makes you feel gross. Like watching it really makes me feel gross. At least that
it was just that it was so like if they had the movie half done and her character was so integral to the plot, and yes, it's a tragedy, but you also have to finish your $500 million movie, and there's a lot of other people's jobs on the line. I could kind of look the other way, but she died before you started shooting anything, and nothing against Carrie Fisher as an actor or Leia Organa as a character. You didn't need her involvement in this one.
If you're getting value or entertainment out of any of my transmissions, it would mean a lot if you would join the Remnant and subscribe.
One of the things that we were cheated out of was a double-bladed blue lightsaber when the lightsaber split in half in the last one. And it's reforged into something new, and that's the thing that bugged me so much, and I've talked about it since Force Awakens and our Last Jedi reviews. Rey is undone. All character work for her is undone as soon as this movie starts because of that lightsaber being just reforged again into the exact same thing.
Yeah,
and
put a leather strap on, it's good to go.
Yeah, and it's like that undoes so much character work where she, in the end, you know, it's going to be like, we're going to have to do like, you know, we're going to have to reforge the resistance and this lightsaber into something new. And like, you know, and Colin Trevorrow's idea of it being a double-bladed lightsaber fits so well with her character because she's like a staff fighter. Like that's what she knows how to use is a staff.
Yeah, the breadcrumbs were already there from the very beginning of The Force Awakens, and they just ignored it.
Yeah, and then
I mean,
am I misremembering?
The double-bladed saber is historically Sith, but that could also be a good thing where, well, so is Palpatine. And this could show that she doesn't have to follow that path where it's nature or it's a nurture over nature. Like,
yeah, and I mean, like we have Old Republic characters with like double-bladed Jedi.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be set in concrete. It actually, I was reinforcing your point that they should have gone that way because this could be accepting, okay, yes, maybe that's where I came from, but that's not who I am.
No, and also it would have been freaking cool. That's the other thing too. It's like, it just would have been awesome. And we don't get that. We haven't gotten that since Darth Maul. Like, right? In live action, we haven't really gotten any double-bladed lightsabers. I don't think we have.
Like Chimera and Acolyte has like the little hidden blade thing he takes.
Yeah. We haven't gotten a good double-bladed lightsaber action since Phantom Menace. And they could have done
a reveal almost as cool as Darth Maul, where she's fighting Kylo Ren or Dark Ray or whatever, and she's holding what looks like the Skywalker hilt, maybe a little longer if you really pay attention, and then all of a sudden there's two blades. And like you said, she's been a staff fighter as long as she's been alive, as far as we know.
Also, way to like, again, I talked about this with Force Awakens, where it's like, it gives you something cool, but it's not cool enough. Where it's just sort of like hinting at something cool, which is a J.J. Abrams thing of just like the mystery box thing, where it's like, here's something cool, but we're not going to go far enough to ruin the mystique. But it also just comes off as lame when you just never tell you what's cool or give you something cool.
Yeah.
There is a double-bladed lightsaber in this, and it's really cool. The idea of like this hinged, like Dark Ray double-bladed lightsaber. I'm like, she should just have that the whole time. It would have been awesome. Like to have her just have this cool like nunchuck lightsaber, you know, like it would have been awesome.
She doesn't get it, like say when she goes to Octo and then, you know, Luke's like, I was wrong. No, this is why, you know, the 1,000 generations of Jedi or whatever the bad dialogue is. But if she went there and was like, look, it's all ruined, even your lightsaber's broken, he's like, this is just a thing. Like, you can remake things. And then she does her own spin on it. Like, all the pieces there, she could have even take Leia's saber and melded it with Luke's to get the double-bladed lightsaber. Then she has both of them. Like, there's so many avenues, and they don't do any of it.
So there were two Star Wars things released at the same time this movie came out that were so much better and did so much better with the things that are in this movie. The double-bladed lightsaber was done so much better in Jedi Fallen Order, where he breaks the crystal, he reforges it into a double-bladed lightsaber. You know, he's moving on, you know, and it means that he's moving on and he's creating something new, which is so cool. And then like he can split it in half and it can be two lightsabers, and it's so awesome. And then Baby Yoda in Mandalorian, around this time, that episode where he changes Carl Weathers' mind because he heals him and that he saves him in that moment. And Carl Weathers in that time realizes, oh, I can't betray this baby that like only wants to help people, you know? And those two things are done so much better than in this movie.